Birte, welcome.
Thank you.
Birte, your work at the Aarhus University revolves around new technologies in the field of seed science and technology. Can you explain a bit more what kind of technologies you're working on and why are these important?
Yeah, thank you, Marcel. I'm very happy to join the interview and explain a bit more about the activities that we are running. So I typically work with seed production, and our major crops are grasses, clover, spinach seed production. And we see more and more that it's very difficult for the farmers to obtain the high quality while they still maintain the high stable yields. And that's due to the decline in the pesticides we are using. And although we see quite a bit of activity in relation to organic seed production, which is also interesting, then it's still very difficult for the conventional growers to have the high quality. So we started to look if there were any new technologies that could be employed. And the first thing that we were looking into was imaging, if there would be any new sensors, any new technology. And then we came across multispectral imaging, where we also have a technology provider in Denmark. So this is where my focus around the new technologies really is concentrated.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks. You mentioned multispectral imaging. I'm not a seed technology expert, so can you explain a bit what multispectral imaging is and perhaps also interesting for our audience, how can the seed sector benefit from that technology?
Yeah, the multispectral imaging is different from the standard camera. In the standard camera, we have three sources of light. We have red, green, blue, RGB. But in the multispectral camera, we use more wavelengths. And from those wavelengths, we get different types of information. And that information is due to the reflection from the surface of what we illuminate. The instrument we have that we are using, it has 19 different light emitting diodes that illuminates the object like one by one. And then we get different images. And by looking into these images, treating them into the software and various statistics, we get information about the surface of the seed. But then it can also be combined with images of length, width, and shape, and all these different features. So in fact, we have a very good description of the seeds. And currently, we work quite a bit to use it into the recognition of seed of different species. Mm-hmm. So that's where we see that it has a potential. Mm-hmm. For example, if we then consider the purity analysis and also the determination of other seeds.
Yeah, wonderful. Very, very useful technologies to guarantee that quality of the seed that goes to the farmers. Just out of curiosity, with your technology, can you distinguish varieties within a species?
If those varieties have differences in the surface, then we can. But if they look completely the same in the surface, then we cannot. Yeah. So it is a yes and no, but it really depends on how the varieties they differ. But I can mention that for the moment we have a PhD student, and he is in particular looking in to see if there are differences among wheat and barley varieties. He still has a year to go, so we cannot answer the question yet.
And so if you're looking at the outside of the seed, I bet you can then also spot diseases like fungi on the outside of the seed?
Yes, we can. If they're on the outside, we can see it. And the technology is being used, for example, in the malting barley industry. So there are already algorithms for fusarium, and that is being used.
Wonderful. Could you then, if thinking a bit further and extrapolating from that, could you then use the technology perhaps to, in the field of phytosanitary and perhaps even quarantine diseases, to spot the disease before the seeds is planted in a country?
Yeah, potentially yes, but again, it will depend whether we can sort of recognize the the microorganism on the surface of the seed, where there would
Hmm.
be others where you would need to look into inside the seed to be able to detect them. So
Hmm.
it cannot be used for everything, but I think it's a very nice tool that can help us in the way that what we also see is that it's difficult to find trained personnel with this expertise now. So in that respect, I think that these new technologies are quite interesting.
Hmm. Hmm. Wonderful. It sounds like a very exciting technology. Is it already being used by seed companies?
Yes, it is. Eh, for example, in the spinach
Mm.
business, it's being used as a process control, which I think is really, really a good use because, for example, Vikima Seed, which operates their business here in Denmark and is big on spinach seed production, they have the process line running overnight, whereas people in the laboratory are there only during the daytime. So they have an equipment that has a focus on the weeds that are difficult to clean out of spinach. And they use it in a way where the people in the night shift, they will take out the subsample during the cleaning of a new seed lot. They will go and check it to see whether the quality is as they would expect. And if not, they have the possibility to go back and adjust the processing line. They don't need to wait until the next morning and maybe find out that they did something wrong all over the night. So, and they, in the company, they expect everyone to be able to use the equipment, which is in fact also quite a huge step forward.
Wonderful. Very, very exciting technology. Birte, thanks so much and good luck with your research.
Thank you. Thank you.